Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking Chapter 12 and transforming it into a vibrant, practical playbook on service-based vocations. We are completely ditching the textbook approach today to look at the real-world skills that actually keep our communities functioning, safe, and connected. Let's just jump right into it.
Okay, so let's start by asking ourselves a question. How do those invisible frameworks, the ones that make our everyday community and school experiences actually function, how do they work? Have you ever wondered why some events just feel effortlessly enjoyable? Or how complex government paperwork finally actually gets processed? Well, it doesn't happen by accident. It happens through dedicated vocations.
Here's our agenda for today. First up, exploring additional vocations. Number 2, hospitality and event management. 3, mastering database services. 4, the art of interior design. 5, navigating public information. And finally, number 6, safety, quality, and feedback.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Exploring Additional Vocations, the setup. Moving right along to Section 2, Hospitality and Event Management. This beautifully illustrates our core theme here, which is ensuring every single visitor feels completely comfortable, respected, and safe. You see, the ancient phrase "attiti devo vava" reminds us that welcoming a guest is about far more than just pointing them to an empty chair. It's really about how supported they feel from the exact moment they walk through the door.
Now, to pull that off, the crucial point is mastering etiquette. Etiquette is literally your primary toolkit for providing clear guidance and care for everyone. And that means paying special attention to people with different needs, like elders, young children, or persons with disabilities. Your greeting, your tone of voice, your posture, and especially your ability to actively listen, those are the absolute foundation of a truly great guest experience.
So, how does this build into event management? Well, it's all about taking those exact same interpersonal skills and applying them to planning and managing large gatherings, like a busy school exhibition, for example. You're scaling up from welcoming just one person to coordinating the flow of potentially hundreds of people.
But event management isn't just about the dry logistics. It requires crafting the right ambience so that the flow of the program feels completely natural to your guests. It's about merging physical elements like the seating, the sound system, the lighting, with those core hospitality elements. That way, even if something completely unexpected happens, the crowd remains calm, informed, and happy.
What's really fascinating here is that these key execution steps form a framework you're going to see repeated across almost all vocations. First, you identify an opportunity or need. Then, you plan the roles and logistics. Third, you prep the environment. Think rehearsals and layouts. Fourth is delivery. Fifth, you monitor the service while it's happening so you can fix issues on the fly. And finally, step 6, handling the post-service cleanup and reflection.
All right, moving into our third section, mastering data-based services. When you're analyzing everyday issues, things like traffic control, maintaining library stock, or tracking daily water use, you aren't just collecting numbers for the fun of it, right? You are looking for insight. These insights are exactly what help schools, families, and local governments identify hidden patterns and make incredibly informed decisions to improve their communities. Now, to actually gather these insights, you need the right tools. But take a close look here. Alongside the obvious ones like tablets, supervised smartphones, and survey forms, consent forms are absolutely critical for ethical data collection. You literally must always take permission before collecting someone's information. And hey, don't forget digital hygiene. Simple things like logging out of shared devices and keeping records secure go a really long way.
Which brings us to Section 4, the art of interior design.
Interior design is all about taking an everyday space, maybe it's just a small study corner or a large community room, and using layout, lighting, and sustainable methods to make it comfortable, functional, and, of course, visually pleasing. A big part of this is ergonomics. You want to make absolutely sure your furniture placement actually allows for easy, safe movement.
But before you ever move a piece of heavy furniture, you have to rely on these specific materials to plan. You measure the room dimensions accurately with a tape or scale. You might use cardboard or recycled boxes to build simple 3D mock-ups. And you use paint swatches to nail down the aesthetics. Honestly, planning on a budget with locally available materials is a true hallmark of sustainable interior design.
Moving on to our fifth section, navigating public information.
Have you ever struggled to find an online government form for a scholarship or spent hours trying to figure out property taxes? It can be super frustrating.
Well, this vocation is all about helping people access their benefits, track official requests, and bridge that digital divide using verified portals. This kind of vital work happens every day in places like common services centers or punch-out offices.
By helping someone navigate these systems with respect and clarity, you are actually championing transparency. You're making complex official processes accessible to everyone, which is huge. The ultimate goal here is to explain instructions in simple language, treating citizens patiently regardless of their digital literacy level, and then following up so they know the exact status of their applications.
And finally, Section 6, Safety, Quality, and Feedback.
No matter which of these vocations you choose, success always requires balancing two things: quality parameters and safety parameters. Quality means beautiful aesthetics, reliable data collection, and crystal clear communication. But you have to balance that with strict safety parameters. Think data privacy, like never ever sharing someone's OTPs, maintaining physical hygiene, avoiding lifting heavy items all by yourself, and knowing exactly where the emergency exits are. Basically, quality is how well you do the job, while safety ensures you do absolutely no harm while doing it.
And remember, the final mandatory step across every single one of these fields is to collect feedback and record your learnings. Whether it's keeping a project journal for your design space or handing out a feedback form to a guest, taking the time to reflect on what worked and what needs improvement is exactly how you master these skills for the next time.
So, with this playbook in hand, covering everything from the delicate etiquette of hospitality to the strict ethics of data collection, there's really only one question left. Which of these vocations are you going to put into practice first to make a real difference in your community today? Thank you so much for exploring this chapter with me. I challenge you to take just one of these skills and apply it this week. See you next time.